Morning, folks. Thanks for our resubs this morning. Mega Cord's back. I appreciate the 20 months. Becky the Icebox, thanks for the brand new primer. I plan to be here. Thanks for keeping me around. Good morning, good morning. Gonna open a booster pack. Sure thing. Okay, an hour until our next one. Won't someone save us from the meddlesome Celebi meta? Yep. The Celebi package is great. I'm gonna reference this a few times today, I'm sure. But I woke up and I was poking around, and this gave me a real chuckle this morning, gamers. Here's some of the stats from the first 100+ person tournament with the new set. And obviously the sample size is small here, but like, given how much Celebi is broken has been on the Twitter clickbait, has been like, it really made me laugh. And for reference, when you drill down into the actual matchup data, when you drill down into the matchup data, the way this deck is built right now has a really bad Mewtwo matchup. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this innovate to play Mew EX as a way to have counterplay into Mewtwo. And I bet that this is better than this. Once we get more sample, we'll see some bigger things, but I will say the people talking about needing nerfs and things being like the people who like went and won 5 games in a row so they could post a YouTube video with it and say it's broken probably don't have the best builds of the deck yet, believe it or not. This will surprise you. I ended up putting Geo in the Gyarados deck for Mewtwo. Do you need to do that? You could survive a hit from Mewtwo. I'm gonna actually start with that deck today because I like it a lot. And that's one of the things I want to get a feel for, is do what utility cards we want. I might try a copy or two of Misty today just to get a feel for it. We didn't play a ton with it yesterday. Mew is a meta breaker. I don't know about Celebi being a meta breaker. Mew's pretty good. The Scolipede deck feels awesome. Yeah, I think the Gyarados and the Scolipede decks are my two that I want to play more games with the most. I'm gonna sub this X speed for a Misty before we play some games today, though. Yes, Greninja Flareon with the new Dirtle Dragon feels real solid. Agree. I should put flares on my Leaf. It's gonna take me a while to get a full art on her, so might as well flare the basic ones we have. 15 of them. We played a few games with Misty to start yesterday, and I didn't feel like I really needed them. The Scolio tournament package, it probably needs an attacker that deals with fire. So the matchup data implies that its problem matchup's actually Mewtwo, not Fire decks, John, for what it's worth. The primary meta fire deck is like Charizard, which is killing them in one hit regardless of weakness. I think people often overestimate the importance of weakness typing in terms of counterplay, and a lot of times weakness typing only really matters when you're working with smaller hitting Pokemon. So like Wheezing into Mewtwo, for example, the weakness typing really matters there. But a lot of the things that have been good in Pokemon Pocket so far are just individually high attackers. I am very glad Resist isn't in this game, I agree. Feels like weakness is a balancing mechanic in this game more than this just means you polarize, win the game outright. I'm doing okay. Not 100%, but I feel mostly like a person and I wanted to play games anyways, so I figured I might as well stream. Thank you, Neeb. Feeling like Leaf is the best card in the new expansion. Yeah, I think that's probably a reasonable take. Definitely going to be one of the most widely applicable. You know, I probably should have researched before I Pokeballed there, because I really wanted to find 2 basics. That's on me. Playing Gyarados out to play around Sabrina a little bit. Do I want to tempo Sabrina the Snivy? I think so. Getting a couple of early damage marked on this probably doesn't matter anyways, because Vaporeon's going to crack for 60, and then one of the things that's actually really relevant to this matchup is that Gyarados clears everything in their deck in one go. Oh, I guess it misses Executor. So they'll crack us for 20 more. Next turn we'll go Vaporeon. Oh, you know what? We're potentially in a lot of trouble here, right? If they have Superior, they can attach energy and clear the Vaporeon. I think we just lose if that happens because we didn't have a Starmie or anything else to work with. Going to dodge their stage 2 for a turn. Isn't it 3 extra? Yeah, so Superior doubles all their grass energy. So if they have Superior, they attach a second energy, it counts as 4. And lets them crack for 90. I think, given that they missed for a turn, I'm not going to risk it on another, and I'm going to Leaf pull Vaporeon out here. We're going to go ahead and wash out an energy up to here to play around to Sabrina a little bit. Yeah, the game audio is being a little funky. I wonder if my my broadcast played around the Sabrina nice. I wonder if my what's it called, having problems again here. Need to swap that around. Our Eevee's not terrible. I was hoping for a Staryu though. We just go ahead and leave here again. I'll futz with the audio after this game's done. Just have to deal for now otherwise. With both my Leafs used, my Vaporeon's not likely to get a lot going on here. It's unfortunate that Gyarados lost the energy there, losing that, Well, actually, one thing I don't know, discard a random energy from among the energy attached to all Pokemon. I guess this mechanic's actually kind of mediocre into this deck that's going to have fewer total energy. Because I think we were technically 80% to lose our own energy there. I have not played with the new Marvel Sap card at all yet. We'll do that. We'll do that this afternoon. Now we're 66% to lose our own energy here. Yeah, we lost our energy again. Dodge Giovanni, we could dodge a ball. They have Giovanni, we're probably dead. They don't have Giovanni, we win the game. Yeah, they're just dead. Cool. Alright, that should fix the audio stuttering issue, I think. Might have to rework my whole audio configuration. This is the second time that's happened recently. How many packs does it take for you to get all the new cards? It takes somewhere between like 70 and 100 packs to finish a booster with nominal variants. But I also ran a little bit hot, and like I opened 2 Gyarados. I opened 2 of every EX in like 80 packs, which is right a little bit hot for sure. Shentzu, thank you for the entire year of support. Welcome back. And Maid, oh my goodness. I missed your massive resub a little bit ago. Thanks for the 90 months. It's been an eternity. Conqueror, thanks for the almost 3 years. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, when I redo the audio, so it's not laggy, you hear everything on my system. Which is, unfortunate. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just like, ideally wouldn't be there. You tried the fish that hits the bedsheet. I have not. I think OBS actually updated so I can control from there, only grabbing particular application audio. I'll have to screw with that. Maybe a project for the weekend, I think. Metsu Fathom, thank you for the 63 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's Misty Star You here. See if we can attack with Star Me. Ooh, we can. It's exciting. This is one of the powerful things Misty does in this deck, is it's not just trying to full cheese people. It's okay, you basically get to steal the play. You get to steal going first and take first energy advantage in spots like this. My favorite card in the mini set. I like Leaf a lot. She adds a lot of utility to things that wouldn't have had it otherwise. Does Centiskorch deal 30? 130, does anybody know? I'm blanking. Is it 120 or 130? Hey Jeff, how have you been liking Pocket? I run a league for the paper games. So just see how you see it. I like Pocket a lot. I think it's very, very good. Baba Jean, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. They kept all of the good parts of paper Pokemon and got rid of a lot of the mediocre parts. Which feels great. Feels like they took the paper game and they're like, how do we re-envision this Pokemon TCG for the 21st century? And then Pocket is the answer to that question. I'm playing a Blastoise version. So the big problem with Blastoise version, past stage 2 inconsistencies, is that Blastoise EX needs 5 energy to clear Celebi in 1. Didn't the game designers design this game for collections and not battles? Gamers are one of the most broken, silly group of people I've ever encountered. So what you actually mean by that is the designers of this game made it so it's possible to play the game as only a collecting game. What it doesn't mean is that they did not design the game to not actually be played. Unlike games like Marvel Snap and Hearthstone and Magic Arena, Pokemon Pocket doesn't actively punish you if you just want to collect the game. And because the game doesn't actively punish you for just wanting to play casually, gamers everywhere have inserted their own feelings into this, which is, well, if it doesn't punish me, then it must mean that it's only casual. And there's a big difference between casual play as an option and casual collecting as an option, and casual play and collecting are the only option. I would go so far as to say Pokemon Pocket is the most competitive digital card game to release in years. Maybe since Hearthstone even. The community tournament scene that's built up around this game is really awesome. And another thing that people don't understand about games like Pokemon Pocket is lots of people think that ladder systems make a game competitive. And that's not true. Ladder systems in games like Hearthstone and Marvel Snap and Magic Arena are not designed to measure skill. They are designed to create player engagement and get those players to play more games that they otherwise wouldn't be playing. one of the things that Pokemon Pocket's system structurally has done really well is making it so you only need to play games if you will have fun or want to play the games. And even in the few instances where they've had PvP events in the game, you get all of the actual collection progress from those events just by participating, not by having to win. If you've won 0 games of Pokemon Pocket Lifetime, you could have collected every single free collection-based reward in the game. You just have to play 10 games in those other ones to collect the hourglasses. Do you like the deck sizes as well? Do you think it gives enough freedom for deck building? Yeah, I think the deck sizes are great. I think there's plenty of freedom in deck building in this game, given, in fact, one of the many things I think about that make deck building interesting in this game is how many choices we have with just the limited set. And I would go so far as to say, given that people are playing terrible cards like Red Card, given that they're not optimal to play, there's plenty of deck building innovation and exploring to be had in this game as a whole. We're going to continue these wonderful conversations and play some more Gyarados after we take a quick pause for the cause and run some adverts. I'll see you in 120 seconds. Thanks for hanging out, gamers. Don't go anywhere. YouTube gamers, I'm going to roll you an ad as well since we're playing it on the Twitch side. See you in a minute. So 21 button speeds. Yes, it is data mined that both the PvE, or both the PvP events we had already are going to be coming back this cycle. We're going to get a win 45 games event, and we're going to get a win 5 in a row event. Artie, you are taking what the designer said about Pokemon Pocket and able to be a casual collecting game and taking it out of context and inserting your own feelings on top of it, like a lot of people have done with that interview. You think a best-of-3 format with multiple decks, like Runeterra did, can be interesting in Pocket? I personally despise multi-format tournaments, or multi-deck tournament formats, and I will not be playing in any of them personally. Outside of, like, casual creator things, like Spraggles. Spraggles and Dexter did a small creator tournament that was multi-deck, and I played in that because it was, like, more about showcasing decks and creators than competitive, but from a competitive perspective, I think multi-deck is awful. As someone who likes building and brewing my own decks, it is, building multiple decks that are brews and competitive is difficult to impossible. I haven't played any Celebi yet personally, but based on the early tournament data that we have so far, you probably need to put Mew EX in it, because it looks like that the ways people are playing the deck have a really bad Mewtwo matchup to start. Speaking of Celebi, I'm going to reference this one a few times throughout the course of the day, I bet, as people come in and we get more people, but I'm just going to tap this side again. These are the stats from our first 100+ player tournament with the new set, gamers. We're going to tap the side. Won't somebody please nerf the broken new Onion Pokemon? Nerf it, chat! Nerf the Onion Pokemon! I really can't emphasize enough that you can't get your metagame information from people who are clickbaiting you on YouTube. And truly, you should tell your people not to recommend the channels that tell you cards are broken a day after they drop. They're just farming you for money. To give a nuanced take, I think I expect the Celebi decks to be significantly better than that first small sample size result. But I also would be incredibly surprised if they are far and away broken, busted, better than the other decks that have been good and established. My expectation is that the Celebi deck is going to be a fourth format pillar for the game. I expect, instead of talking about Charizard, Mewtwo, Pikachu being the big three, I would not be surprised if it's Celebi, Mewtwo, Pikachu, Charizard as the big four. That wouldn't surprise me. But my early anecdotes playing against Celebi and looking at the couple of small tournaments we have is that it doesn't look like it's cracked, broken, busted to start. It looks like it's probably gonna be competitive. Let's make a tribe command. What do you perceive as strong choices of the new meta so far? You should check out my best decks video. I posted last night. I posted my takes on early decks that felt good after playing for like 10 hours yesterday. Celebi is in your best decks video. Yep. I am also very happy I had the foresight to say Celebi will probably need to innovate and play Mew EX in that best decks video, because based on their Mewtwo matchup data, that sounds like it's probably going to be the case. I would wager. Does Mew copy Celebi attack? It does, and then you flip a coin for every energy on your Mew. Alright, Eevee, I'm gonna need you to knock out this Articuno for me. You think you can lift with your legs? I love this Gyarados deck, by the way. My favorite so far is something close to this. Yeah, Spriggles. I think there's a chance that something close to this ends up being one of the more competitive decks out of this set. I think my money's on Vaporeon being one of the more individual powerful cards we get. What do you think about the economy after the mini set? I think I'm going to have a detailed video before the end of the year breaking down economy stuff in general, but my general position has not changed. I think the Pokemon and Pocket economy is going to live or die based on how generous trading is, because the current way the Pokemon Pocket economy is structured is likely a disaster if you're even a little bit unlucky. What do I mean by that? I mean, I got 2 copies of every EX in the mini expansion, opening 70 boosters. I know other people who opened 100 plus boosters and are missing 4 and 5 EXs still. So if you get a pretty uniform distribution, it's really not that bad. But if you run even a bit below average, pucker up, Buttercup, you're probably screwed. I think we're dead, because I can't pull this out, and then I lose my energies. How many packs does it take enough points to get an EX? It's a ton. It's 100 packs. So if you're unlucky and run bad and don't open the EXs you need, it costs 200 USD to get a playset of an EX that you're missing. 200 USD. Or you could wait like an entire month of opening packs for free. That's a long time. To get one open, you can wait a month to get one copy, 2 months to get two. I've found it really funny, people who did nothing but complain about Marvel Snap's economy and talk about how Marvel Snap's a scam because they sell 6,000 tokens for 50 bucks, who have done nothing but praise Pokemon Pocket, when if you low roll here, the fail case is a lot worse than Marvel Snap. Again, I want to be clear that I think the average case and above average case here is fine. And hopefully trading's going to smooth things out and make it good generically. But I just really want to emphasize that I feel like a lot is riding on trading doing heavy lifting to make the economy decent in this game. Oh, no Eevee here sucks. Well, I guess this is fine, because I have the Leaf. So, something worth noting here, because this is Leaf and not X-Speed, I can't switch up Staryu and hit them this turn, which is relevant, because if they evolve into Sandslash, Starmie doesn't clear it on its own. So because Leaf is not X-Speed, I can't guarantee clear this next turn. Alright. Sweet. They bricked. Your opponent being unlucky is always an option. I really like the introduction of Leaf to the game, having a real consideration between that and X-Speed in terms of how you're going to line things up. Yeah, you can't the research into your cheap retreat cost combo with Leaf. I'm going to repeat this a lot, and maybe eventually people will start learning how to build good decks and I won't have to say it as frequently. But for the love of God, my dearest video gamers, please put more basic Pokemon in your deck. It is crazy to me how often I have to tell people to stop cutting basic Pokemon. Stop it! The number of people that were like, ooh, you should cut basics for more utility cards in this deck. And I was just wanted to be like, please stop. All right, so I'm going to play around Brock this turn. And the way we play around Brock this turn is we retreat to Magikarp. So that way, next turn, I can put Vaporeon on here and then slide the Gyarados up and put the energies on it. So I am not attacking with Starmie and clearing the Cubone, because Double Edge clears my Starmie and takes energy here. Would need Brock X-Speed. So they need Brock X-Speed because I didn't attack them. I'm talking about why I've elected not to attack them. Won't you be one energy short? I could draw my second copy of Leaf, or I could hit heads on Misty. Or if they X-Speed and clear the Magikarp, we're also okay. So, they had the Brock, and I am now not screwed because I chose to play around this. I need to hit a heads on this Misty to attack this turn now, but if I miss for a turn, it's like not the end of the world. Vaporeon is so strong. It's people talking about cutting. Lots of people in my comments, and someone just now in chat suggested cutting an Eevee and a Vaporeon from this deck. You really want Vaporeon in every single one of your games, chat. Do not cut. You want 12 Pokemon in this deck. They want to put red cards and potions and X speeds and other traders in the deck. Play 12 Pokemon. Yes, I am actually flabbergasted that people keep suggesting it as well. Speaking of red cards, what a good Pokemon pocket card you've put in your deck. They red carded a 2-card hand because they're dead, gamers. Five basic Pokemon is the floor on basic Pokemon you should have in your decks in Pokemon Pocket, in my opinion. Ideally, you should be playing 6 a lot of the time, but I do think there are situations where, for example, a lot of Stage 2 decks don't have enough deck slots to get 6 a lot of the time. But my decks without Stage 2 Pokemon almost always play 6 basics. I cut the 1 X speed for 1 Misty in today's build, which it's worth noting, in that last game, my Misty was literally flip a coin to be X speed. So I'm not confident that changes right. Baxon, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. How do you balance basic Pokemon with fossils when building a deck? Well, one, you probably shouldn't be hearing fossils. You probably shouldn't be playing fossils without things that they evolve into. But let's assume you're playing Aerodactyl. I would just count fossils as your basic. So if you have 2 fossils, I would count that as 2 of the 5 to 6 basics you need to play. Do you play 6 basics in the Blaine deck too? Depends on the list. I will say there isn't really a good Blaine deck that exists, so there's optimization to do there. But you want at least 5 there. And usually some mix of Farfetch'd and Magmar are the other cards that you play. Hey, what's going on, Asho? Thanks for hanging out this morning. I think there'll be any changes to Charizard decks. I don't think any cards from the new expansion go into Charizard. It's still worth it to build a Pikachu deck. Do you want to play with Pikachu? If yes, then it's worth it to build it. One thing that's actually really interesting about this deck from a play all your basics perspective is, generally speaking, this deck really wants to have all 3 of its Pokemon lines in play. Which means in games like this, where I open Research and Pokeball, I'm almost always researching before I Pokeball because I really want to find all my lines. Don't sleep on Leaf inside of Charizard, sure. It is wild that people still have room to play red cards in their deck, and it feels extra bad to get punished by it in my deck playing 6 basics. That's so unlucky for us. I'm gonna Sabrina up the old Amber, because not being able to evolve Eevee would be bad for me. Yeah, Vaporeon Leaf's not terrible. It could also be right just proactively evolve the Vaporeon, but they're pulling this out here. Okay. And then we're hoping for average variance on this with no Geomon. If they don't knock out Eevee here and we draw Starmie, we're in a really good spot. We probably need to draw Starmie. This game is so freaking easy, chat. Have you considered just drawing them? And this is, I want to make it really clear. They red carded 5 cards out of my hand this game. And this is why the red card is card advantage is a trash argument in Pokemon Pocket. Because Pokemon Pocket is not a game where card advantage matters. Pokemon Pocket is a game where having the right cards is way more important than having more total cards. And the decks are so small that you're gonna find back the things they took away from you fairly quickly a lot of the time. This isn't Magic the Gathering where you're grinding out small edges and 2-for-1s. This is not a game of attrition. It's a game about assembling your combos. Wayward Cypress, thank you for the 6 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Obi, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Appreciate it. Why do you think there needs to be 5 basics? What's the problem with having less? Well, one, to be empirically data-driven, there is a reason why all of the best versions of Charizard and Mewtwo optimize to play more basic Pokemon. Second, when you have fewer basic Pokemon, you're going to have more games like this one my opponent just lost, where we knock out their only thing and they have nothing else to do. Second is that decks that are less linear and more dynamic in their gameplay tend to be better in games like Pokemon Pocket. So what do I mean by this? Let's take, for example, the Charizard deck. The Charizard deck was optimized to be playing Arcanine as a secondary attacker, because being all in on just Charizard wasn't good. You needed both to draw your stage 2, and Charizard was clunky in things like the Pikachu matchup. So generally speaking, being able to attack in a variety of ways makes your game plan more flexible and harder to counter. And playing more basic Pokemon allows you to have more diverse strategies for your deck to execute. People get to the argument in favor of playing 4 basic Pokemon and only 2 Pokemon lines more specifically basically comes down to you get to draw those cards more often by a nominal amount, the way Pokeball and the way the starting hand algorithm works to guarantee you always get 1 basic. What that logic ignores, though, is your average case scenario where things aren't going exactly perfectly according to plan sucks. It means when you're playing only 2 Mewtwo EX and 2 Ralts in your deck, you're going to have draws where you only have 2 Ralts more frequently. Whereas if you're playing 2 Ralts, 2 Mewtwo, and a baby Mewtwo, you're going to have baby Mewtwo to buy you time and attack with periodically. You're going to have Mew to attack with periodically. You're going to have Arcanine to attack with periodically when Charizard doesn't show up. Having those options is good. Yeah, I think I'm between this Gyarados deck or the Wheezing Scolipede deck. We're gonna play those two today, I think is my plan. These are the two I've liked the most. Any interesting new Tauros builds that catch your eye? So, Celebi being a meta consideration means that EX Tauros is less good unless you can put it in a deck that has a Giovanni or two. What do you think of Articuno instead of Starmie in this deck? I think it's utter bunk and nonsense. I think a big part of the power level of this deck is putting 2 energies on your copy of Starmie, attacking with it, and then retreating it back before you wash it out. If I brick on Starmie here, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble if they have Wheezing. So hopefully they either are bricked on Wheezing or we draw the Starmie. 2 Starmies and a research and 11 cards. Oh, they had the Wheezing and the potion? Yikes. Interesting in Pidgeotto EX decks. Yeah, there's a super interesting one of my best decks video from yesterday. You should check it out. I think with no Leaf and no Starmie, we're in a lot of trouble here. I don't know what our line is from here. Yeah, we need like a Misty top deck, basically. I think the play to win line is like Gyarados out, Vaporeon up as a Stone Cold Brick House. And then we just hope to build this while Vaporeon takes hits. Kind of contribute. I'm trying to like think through, okay, what does my line to win this game look like? And I think it's build Gyarados and then solo from there. So Vaporeon being able to just stonewall for a little bit seems ideal. Can you explain using Oak before Pokeball in terms of lines? If you want to draw 2 basic Pokemon, you should Oak before you Pokeball, because your Oak is more likely to draw a basic if you don't thin a basic out of your deck before you play it. So if you want to draw non-basics, you Pokeball and then Oak. If you want to draw 2 basics, you Oak and then Pokeball. Did I miss using Washout? Why would I want to wash out energy to Vaporeon? Can you explain to me? Why is that good? Do you know what Washout does? I assume you don't. I go to 40. I go to 30. This thing just being 120 hit point wall to set up Gyarados seems pretty good. The question is Gyarados going to be able to solo this game? I'm not sure on the answer to that. I don't know, that's true. That's a new card. Washout lets you slide water energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. I don't want to put energies on this. I want to have my energies on my finisher here. Line is draw Misty. I'm not sure we need to draw Misty. I'm curious to see if Gyarados could just solo their board here or not. Excuse me, what? This Sabrina is awful. You're letting my Vaporeon live? Would I have another Staryu? This is an atrocious Sabrina. The opponent forget benching clears poison. Yeah, that's honestly probably what happened here. Oh no, he put the energy on the wrong Pokemon! Psych. Now you're just rubbing it in that your Vaporeon lived. I am, in fact. If they have Wheezing Koga here, we could be in trouble. If they don't have the Koga, I think we're okay. I clear this, I go to 130, they hit me for 120, they win the game. Do I ever leaf back? Wait. Do I ever leaf back and then put up this other Vaporeon and attack them? I think that's the play. And like force them to have the Koga basically. Oh, I probably want to do the Starmie actually. So that way I can retreat for free because I don't have another leaf. Although I guess this still dies. This still dies to Koga. This still dies to Koga. Okay, yeah, I messed up. This still dies to Koga. I needed to do the Vaporeon because this still dies to Koga. Math. Not even once. I counted the Gyarados being dead at 130 and then didn't count the Starmie being dead at 130. Yeah, good game, put it. Yeah, dead to Leaf and Koga, which they're likely playing both of. I was playing the full 4 in that deck. I liked it a lot. Yeah, that's actually the other deck I'm considering playing this weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and take a brief pause for the cause and roll some Twitch ads. I'm gonna do one more set with this when we get back. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, Scolipede Wheezing is really solid, and you have a type advantage into Mewtwo, which is nothing to scoff at. What's my favorite new card so far? Leaf, definitely. Really good utility card. Put the deck list up on Big View. The Phantom Crew, thank you for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back, appreciate it. Oh, I have a booster pack, sure. You put blue in any decks yet? Blue's only really good in decks with 90 HP Pokemon right now, I think. Worth noting that chime wasn't my notifications, that was Pokemon Pocket. Telling me I have a booster pack to open. You'd have heard that one regardless. Blue feels like a meta choice. We don't know what the meta is. I don't know that that's true. I don't think we have a clear defined best deck, but like Pikachu stuff, Starmie stuff, Mewtwo, Celebi. We have pretty clear defined, these are things people are playing. Hey, Zaire, thank you for the 30 months. Appreciate it. Welcome back. I think my Mythical Island pack points are saving for full art Leafs at this point. I think I have a lot of mileage out of that one long term. Oh, our free hourglasses from the devs are here. Thanks, devs. Zen Canadian, thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. What tournament are you getting out of this weekend? There's one Friday night and one Saturday afternoon that I'll probably play in both of. So I might end up jamming more than one deck to try different things. Ooh, that's a great meta consideration. Last Crumb on the YouTube side says, if Mew EX is popular, blue is potentially good inside of Mewtwo because it stops Mew from one-shotting Mewtwo on the backswing with its own side drive. That's super true. I do not think Lumion is likely good into the other things in this metagame, Papa. Specifically, you need Gyarados to clear Celebies. Kenobi, thank you for the almost 4 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm a Misty on one, because if we hit heads here, I clear this even without drawing Starmie, yeah? You have first energy advantage? No, sir. No, sir, you do not. Now, the Vulpix is a little scary if I don't draw Starmie. I think the lack of Starmie here means I actually don't attack, so that way they have to have Leaf plus Ninetales in order to clear this. I think we just vibe. A Salazzle Enjoyer. If we hit Starmie, it feels like the game ends on the spot. I think we're done here. Sorry, Starmie is a card that just gets so many free wins. It's just so good against so many things. They get to Poison Claw me, and then I get to cleanly retreat to the bench and Vaporeon wash out and clear the Salazzle with that. I don't think I'm playing the other Starmie. I think I want room for, Gyarados on my bench, if I draw it. And now, even if they go Ninetales Blaine, Starmie clears the Ninetales and we win the game. Being able to shuffle your Pokemon around so efficiently is so satisfying. Do you have an opinion on when to use X speeds in your deck versus Leaf? Yeah, when your deck has more retreat 1s versus retreat 2s and 3s, you play X speed. Or when your deck is more likely to have a Pokemon you really don't want to lead on. So, like, X-Speed's probably still very good in a deck like Charizard that never wants to have Charmander as its lead Pokemon. Let's play some more of the Dark deck. I will be playing Snap this afternoon. Closer to the rollover. I don't really want to draw more basics, so we'll Pokeball before we research. Oh, did I forget to flare my Leafs? My Kingdom to be able to apply default flares across all my stuff? So, they're literally dead if we top deck Wheezing. Unlucky. The fact that cards in the deck and deck editor are not sorted by Pokedex entry and instead are sorted by collector number is a baffling and awful UI design choice that desperately needs to be fixed quickly. They should probably be sorted by typing and then sub-sorted by Pokedex number entry inside of typing. We find our Whirlipede evolution, this Mewtwo's in a bad way. Even without it, even without the Scolipede, we were in a pretty good spot here. Like the Poison Sting does 40 with weakness, plus poison, and then next turn, Scolipede cracks for 140. The deck building menus usually improve over time. While that's true, I'm not sure I've literally ever played a digital card game that had as bad of a deck editor as Pokemon Pocket does on launch. Like, it's missing, like, It feels like an editor that was designed by someone who's never played a digital card game before. Good retreat here from them with the Gardevoir setup. Mew? We lost that 50-50 to not get our Mew, which could lose us this game very easily. No Wheezing, no Mew is brutal. Even down to the lack of deck codes for importing and exporting are pretty embarrassing in Pocket's deck editor in terms of feature completeness. Eevee Nuggets, thank you for the 2 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do you like new coughing more? I think new coughing is better, but I'm not 100% convinced on that. We could go either way. My out to win this game at this point is Wheezing into Whirliapede, Scolipede. And even that might not be enough with them having double Gardevoir, double Mewtwo EX. I need to draw Wheezing this turn, though. 2 Weezings and a research and 7 cards. About 50%. How about a brick? I think the brick means we are 100% dead. Classic opponent has 2 stage 2s, and we can't find our 1 stage 1. I mean, even despite their best possible setup, I think we win if we find Wheezing. As someone new, how does having 2 cards with the same name work in Pokemon? They count as the same card. So you can only have 2 total copies of Wheezing or Coughing in your deck. The spot where things get a little murky is EX Pokemon count as a different card. So you could have 2 EX Executor and 2 regular Executor, but I can't play 4 regular Executor even if they're 2 different versions of Executor. A solid start for us, especially with the coughing pulled though. Scolipede early. Dear first time and last time chatter, we ban people who don't understand statistics on this channel. It's not a conspiracy that somebody is out to get you. You're just a scotch unlucky. One of my favorite anecdotes about teaching statistics is that most people think random actually means uniformly distributed in a random order. An anecdote I actually haven't shared on stream in a little while, but one of my favorite exercises when teaching introductory stats was having the students write 10 numbers at random in a list between the numbers 1 and 20. So pick 10 numbers between 1 and 20 and write them in an order. And then we would bring half a dozen examples to the front of the board, and we would talk about how almost none of the examples provided by the class contained clumps or repeats, generally speaking. The human mind does not intuitively understand statistical concepts. People are really bad at parsing the ideas of randoms and large groups of things. And while it is unlikely that a single number would appear multiple times, it's not impossible. And in fact, if you had a classroom of 20 to 30 people, it's actually more unlikely that you don't have clumps than you would have several sets of clumps. Is the thing to be aware of. For people who aren't familiar with my background, I have a graduate degree and undergraduate degree in mathematics. I spent time teaching introductory stats and other topics at both the high school and college level in a former life. That's similar to how they catch fake reports in the military. When people make up numbers at random, they often avoid clumps and avoid numbers that end in 0. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna leaf, and we'll use Wheezing to clear this. I'm switching this out because my line to win this game long term involves hitting my evolution for Whirlipede to clear this Gyarados. Came for the Pokemon Pocket, stayed for the knowledge games. We have a very analytical approach to games here. It's the best way to be objective and as competitive as possible with them. Alright, if we draw Scolipede, we could be in a decent spot here with the Koga and the second Wheezing queued up. Wow! They won the 2 and 7 to discarded energy from Whirlipede there. Holy. Oh, if we'd have been 1 card sooner, we'd have won this game, I think. Now we're probably dead to a Sabrina. I needed this 1 card sooner so I could use the Koga as I supported to pull this back and then put this up. If they don't have a Sabrina, I think we still get them here, but they have Sabrina, we're gonna be gone. Alright, they need to hit the 1 and 7 to deny Whirlipede another energy. They bricked and they're dead. Cool. Snooky, thank you for the 5 months. Big Vino Shock. Crack you for 120, clear you with poison. Out of curiosity, why put the Mew out? Because we're dead to Sabrina either way, and maybe putting another Pokemon on my bench makes them make a mistake. That's true. It also makes red card less appealing. That's a good call out. I will say, one of my favorite things about this deck is that it has two different Pokemon. In it that like going first. Both the Scolio line and the Wheezing line. Don't mind being on the play. These tournaments you enter, is it normal that you submit one deck and just play with that? I think there's been some multi-deck formats, but I personally don't find multi-deck fun, so I don't play in those. So we're open to either draw our stage 1 for this or a leaf to get Wheezing up here. Yeah, it's funny, Sprinkles. When we were talking about it earlier, I actually... Did they miss their attack? I actually talked about how the only time I ever play multi-deck is when it's like content creator showcases things like what you and Dexter did. So, I personally don't enjoy multi-deck formats because as someone who likes brewing and playing off-meta decks, it is much harder to brew multiple competitive off-meta decks. So, essentially, when you're playing a community or a multi-deck format like that, it's often correct. Thank you, I think. It's often correct to submit at least one meta deck, essentially. Alright, so the Pidgeotto EX clears Wheezing in 1, which is problematic. So what's my line to win here? It's doing 120 to me right now. Does Sabrina and not attack do anything? Sabrina no attack gets beat by Leaf plus their thing, but if they don't have the Leaf right away, this buys me time to set up Mew, which is appealing. So yeah, I think that's the line. This is my first time watching you live. Your live voice is very different from your YouTube voice. You will be shocked to learn that most people, when doing public speaking or presenting a seminar, sound different when they're talking casually for hours on end. Vibin', we vibin'. I also use a different voice when talking to my dog, Blue. That's true. Twitch chat is often like a toddler. And I definitely speak to my toddler in a different voice than I do most other people. Do I Koga the Wheezing back and then just put the Mew up and clear this Dirtian? I think so, yeah. Get my first knockout point. And then it's a question of, do I want to play the coughing out to set the Wheezing back up again right away? I think the answer to that is no, because it means my Mew dies to a Giovanni. I think Giovanni's more likely the red card here. Oh, shoot! I forgot Dirty and Rough Skin. So I'm still dead to Giovanni, but if I played the Wheezing out, I was guaranteed dead. Don't worry, things that are noteworthy. The re-energy Dizzy Punch is gonna be great, yep. Stage ones. I think I'm vibing on this one for now, because I don't have a stage 1 anyways, and if I don't play out my last bench, Scolipede can take a hit from this. D-chat, 3 energy Dizzy Punch is more likely to hit 2 heads. Wake up, sheeple. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to play around a Sabrina or a Giovanni here. Okay. If they don't have Sabrina or Giovanni, we can win the game next turn, yeah? Poke Flute does also beat us as noteworthy. They have a lot of cards that beat us here, but I don't have any player agency at this point, right? The way things have lined up, it took us so long to find the stage 1, I just have to hope they don't have any of it. So, statistically very dead here. Classic BM gamer. Takes multiple game actions before finally playing the card that's lethal. The card games change, but the gamer's wasting infinite time when they have deterministic lethal stays the same. Question about the previous game. Gyarados discards energy 1 in 6, or is it 1 in 2? Pick one of the 2 Pokemon and discard. I would assume it chooses between all energy equally, but that's speculation. Yes, people wasting my time when they could have won sooner is the easiest way to not get a thanks from me at the end of the game. But what if you had a counter spell? Yep. We're going first, and we have Wheezing queued up. Things you love to see. Why this coughing in this deck over set 1 coughing? Why should I play set 1 coughing over this coughing? I don't follow what happens after Poke Flute. Pidgeot EX does damage based on your number of benched Pokemon. So the Poke Flute from my opponent in that last game meant that their Pidgeot had enough damage to knock out my Wheezing and win the game. Really wonderful start for us here this game. We have the Wheezing, we have the Whirlipede, we have a Mew as a finisher, we have a couple of Leafs to shuffle things around. Set 1 coughing is better when going second because Mew and Mewtwo are popular, while Mew's often not being let on. You're right that explicitly in the situation when going second in your best possible matchup, that other coughing is better some of the time, because there is real value in having a second coughing consistently in the Mewtwo matchup. Your Kogas are better when you have second coughing teed up. Yes, and in general, what Sterix says there is correct. If your reason for wanting to play base coughing is making your best possible matchup better, you probably want to reevaluate, yeah? And I also want to make it clear that I don't have enough play experience to have a super strong opinion on one or the other. I just think saying it's clear cut this other one is better is probably nonsense. Any consideration to playing a split? If you don't think you want to block warriors, you could definitely play a split. If you're looking for this deck list, you should check out my best early decks for Mythical Island video on the YouTube side from last night. It's got this deck and a bunch of other ones that we played yesterday. We played like 6 or 7 different things yesterday on stream. Played for like 10 hours. And the kind of culmination of all that's up in the YouTube video now. Today we're going to play less of variety because I want to hammer a little bit more optimization and get some play patterns ingrained to find a tournament list. You play Dark just to beat Mewtwo. No, you should never play a deck to only beat one singular matchup. You should play a deck because you think it's generically good. Because there's lots of variety in the decks you're going to play against in Pokemon Pocket. Mewtwo being the most popular doesn't mean you're going to play against it even half the time. The largest it's had in tournament representation is like 30-ish%. Almost 600 people on the YouTube side this morning. It's not bad. Channel's been doing solid since our set drop. Like 700 there yesterday. It's a record for that channel. Second coughing here is stellar, because it means when they put Celebi up and clear this Wheezing, I have a second way to apply poison lying in wait. I think I'm going to keep powering up this Mew for the time being. It is definitely easier to build towards direct decks in Pocket, but there is some variance in it because you are opening booster packs to get cards in this game. The average case in Pocket tends to be pretty good, but the low rolls are really low. Do newer people understand the Block Warriors joke? Probably not. Alright, so my opponent is dead to us top decking Scolipede. We get to put up coughing, we get to poison them with Wheezing, we Koga it back, we put in the Scolipede, and we clear them. Hey, look, my opponent's died. Man, I really wish they'd do something about this Celebi deck. When are they gonna nerf Celebi? This new card is so broken. It's overpowered. New Celebi meta. Incredibly unfair. Won't someone please do something about the inadvertent power creep we've experienced? All right, I'm gonna tap the sign for the new people who are here. For those that weren't here at the start of the stream when we were riffing on it, this is the first 100+ player tournament we've had post-launch. These are the 4 most played decks. I think I had 128 people in it. The win rate over here in the Celebi column is the number I would like to point out. I expect and would wager that given some optimization, this number will probably get closer to these numbers. But I will say the early takes from people who won 5 games in a row on the random matchmaking and declared Celebi superior, broken, or new cracked thing or whatever is just like typical TCG stuff. If there's one thing that remains eternally true across all card games, there are only 2 types of new card releases: broken cards and unplayable cards. The average TCG player has never looked at a new card and gone, yeah, that looks playable and reasonable, probably fun and will be competitive. It's either cracked or unplayable trash. Speaking of things that are unplayable trash, these adverts, pretty close, but at least they'll only last for 120 seconds. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. We're going to play some more of this Wheezing Scolipede deck when we get back. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. YouTube gamers! There's like 600 of you watching. Can some of you tap the like button if you'd be so kind? I'd appreciate it. You like the Sandalit Splash version of this deck? No, I'd be surprised if Sandalit's a playable Pokemon. Let's throw the deck list up here. What happened to being able to pull cards from Charizard and Pikachu packs? I don't understand your question, Thundering Punch. The previous booster packs are still available. You can still open them. Johnny Sykes, 6 tournaments. Exactly that, Sprinkles. It's one of the 2 types of card releases, the unplayable kind. Strongest EX in this set. It's honestly pretty close. It's probably Mew, but Mew, Gyarados, and Celebi all seem quite good. I think Aerodactyl is definitely the odd one out. Aerodactyl seems like the redheaded stepchild of the 5 new EXs. Pidgeot's solid. I don't know that I think Pidgeot's as good as those other 3, but it's very playable. We're gonna be playing more with the Dark deck. This is one of the 2 decks I'm between, I think, for tournaments this weekend. It's felt really clean. LBB! Thanks for the 43 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hey, Sans the Blaster, thank you for that brand new Prime sub. Streaming here on Twitch and YouTube's my full-time job, and that direct support's a big part of why that's possible. We're can you find tournament results similar to what you just posted on stream? Those are housed on Limitless TCG. Mew was our worst possible hit there. Really unfortunate to lose the 50-50 on not getting our Whirlipede. Ooh. Is there a memory? Is there a memory leak again? Is this app about to crash on me? Yikes. I can't. All right, hold on. All right, I'm gonna concede this game. It's literally just not letting me drag cards out of my hand. Let me restart the app here real quick and see if that helps. Apologies to that opponent. You tried Aerodactyl, Pidgeot, or Aerodactyl Arbok decks. I'm not sure why those would be good. I think specifically one metagame consideration you have to have right now is that I think you need a way in your deck to one-shot Celebi. Is something that stands out for me in and something you want to do to be competitive. I think Aerodactyl Arbok struggles to do that. Any opinion on Professor X drawing 2 cards and being in every deck along with Pokeball? I think Pokemon Pocket is explicitly designed with the expectation that every deck's going to play 2 Research and 2 Pokeball, and that's fine. It's okay for staple cards to add consistency. Have you played with Marshadow? No, I don't think Marshadow is very appealing because it misses that breakpoint on Celebi like I was just talking about. Them going second means Starmie EX puts us in a little box in the ground, unfortunately. Can Starmie EX and Greninja EX still be viable with Mew EX as an included tech card? Almost assuredly. What a chode. Imagine trapping here and making me wait for coin flips to happen when you could just attack after you have your best possible start. I'm so glad this game doesn't have emotes in it, because if this was Marvel Snap, this person would be rolling their face across their emote buttons right now. They're just the worst possible inclusion in any digital card game. So many gamers suck, I don't want to interact with them extra. Starmie, a well-balanced card. I think Starmie is a really good, well-balanced card that's a fine design. Complaining about Starmie after I have one of my worst possible lowest roll draws is absolute nonsense, especially when the opponent also had first energy advantage. Card games have an inherent amount of variance in them, but there's going to be some games where you make no mistakes and just die. It doesn't mean the cards you died to are problematic or imbalanced. Any opinion on Mythical Slab being another Pokeball in Psychic decks, basically? I mean, that sounds like really typical TCG player hyperbole. Any opinion on this thing basically being something that it isn't? Yes, I have some opinions on that take. That was bait, was it? I'm not sure that it was actually bait. I think there's a strong chance that person actually believes the bunk they just typed in my chat. They probably heard a streamer say it and didn't think about it. Probably. Read my last comment, scroll up. I'm gonna let you know that I'm banning you, because I did just read your last comment, and it was the one we were talking about. Please never post comments on my content ever again. This Sabrina is really good. Means I get to mark damage on both of my coughing so the Pikachu clears them in one. Not Mew. Oh, you knew it was coming every time. This card's so bad against Pikachu. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Our start was so awkward here. Oh, I forgot to attach energy too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was like, I saw someone make the claim that they thought Celebi with 4 basics, only Celebi and superior lines, had a good Pikachu matchup. And I don't know, maybe they actually did testing and they played the matchup 200 times in the first day and they're saying that empirically. But gut feeling on a surface level, I would be surprised if 4 basic Celebi had a consistently good Pikachu matchup. What deck variants match up best into Pikachu? Arcanine decks tend to be pretty good. Sand/Marowak tends to be good. What's the other one? Executor EX tends to be good. I'm actually waiting to play all of these cards because I don't want to Pokeball into or research into my other coughing before I search it up. Red Link, thank you for the almost 6 years. I appreciate that 71-month resubscription. Could you play Venu EX with Celebi as an additional payoff? Yeah, maybe. I can see that being okay. Or you play like the Executor lines and you play Celebi as your 5th basic. I think the Venusaur deck was a deck that was struggling to find a 5th basic it really wanted to play, so that seems potentially very appealing. Do I want to get Mew going, or do I want to get another Whirlipede going? I think I want to start building energy on Mew so we can crack into Machampion with its own ability. I feel like my take on Golem, even with the new one, is that it's probably just worse than playing Machamp EX a lot of the time. You generally enjoy playing off-meta decks. Yeah, I don't enjoy playing mirror matches in card games, generally speaking. Dactyl's actually pretty good against Whirlipede, because this is a card I want to evolve while it's active a lot of the time. I hate mirror matches, why I stopped playing chess. Chess is pretty poorly balanced in general. I've been waiting for their 2.0 patch to finally bring the queen in line, but I'm starting to doubt that it's ever going to happen. Buff pawns, yep. Insert Elon Musk chess rant here. Wow. You just think chess is a good game because your brain's not as big as Elon Musk's brain. Maybe if you weren't such an idiot pleb, you would understand that chess is a very simple game that's not good enough for people whose minds are as big as Elon's mind is. Are your thoughts on Pidgeot EX? Seems reasonable. I think it seems sweet as a flexible different card to be playing at the top end of, it's a flexible payoff card to play at the top end of, what's it called? You know, the thing. On the top end of having the other one. Chess is a lot more fun if you introduce variants by being bad at it. That's true, you know. Dodge a Giovanni, we can dodge a ball. Yeah, I guess I could probably balance. I turn the game sounds up and turn the overall audio down. Bring the total volume down on the sub notifications. The game volume at an okay level there still? I brought it up in one spot and down in the others. The overall balance should be better. I actually don't know how I win this game from here. Machamp is pretty deeply problematic for us. That one or this one, Gap, one of the two. I got a couple of days of gameplay though still. That's a great draw. And Leaf is excellent here. All right, I think them putting the Hitmonchan up for whatever reason is a good chance to win us the game. Like I get to Leaf this out, and then get a knockout point here with the Wheezing. We jab it with Mew. No, I don't want to randomly lose the Mew. And having the Wheezing in my active slot with the other Leaf in my hand means I can go Gas Leak into Leaf back to Scolipede to deal a lot of damage if I need to. Yeah, if you're looking for a Pidgeot EX deck, I posted a best decks roundup last night of my favorite things I've played so far. It's on the YouTube channel. I think I'm supposed to Sabrina them here. Because they either lose the game with Mankey or get locked into something with a high retreat cost. They could, like, energy on this. They need energy plus leaf. They need leaf, right? They need to retreat this back to the Aerodactyl, and then maybe we could be in trouble, but I navigated through that okay. Could you end the game with Scolipede? Did I miss something? You're missing that I can't play Leaf after I play Sabrina because they're both supporters. Everybody telling me I can win with Scolipede. Leaf is not better X speed. It's different X speed. No Sabrina, only Leaf. The Aerodactyl has 140 HP, and Poison does 10, and Scolipede does 120. And 10 plus 120 is 130, and 130 is less than 140. You stop counting right now, yep. Counting not even once. Equally likely to draw either stage 1 here. Works in paper. That's true, you know. I'm gonna vibe on the Pokeball so I don't pull the coughing, which I'm 50% to do. Since we're gonna division next turn, if I don't draw the Wheezing. Dope. I wasn't sure which of these two I wanted to lead on anyways, opponent. Well, now there's only one basic in my deck for this to fetch anyways, right? So, I think the way our awkward draw has lined up here, I'm actually just playing Mew and powering it up. Because they go Ninetales, kill this, I put up something else, they Ninetales, kill it, I put a second energy, then I put a third, and then Genome Hacking clears the Ninetales in one. We're just gonna give up knockouts while we wait for them to power up Mew. Ideally, we just draw Wheezing next turn. And then they can't knock us out, but... Alright, I mean, if they don't have another basic, we kill them next turn. How do you feel about new coughing versus old? I like being able to attack and retreat for 1. Well, if I'm playing Leaf and not X-Speed, the retreat cost mostly doesn't matter. I think new coughing's likely better. That's why I'm playing it, is the long and short of the question people are asking. I would be surprised if the new Executor is very good. I think the new Execute is good. I don't think new Executor is likely very good. Play more basics, gamers. Play more basics. Thanks for playing 4 basics. I'm gonna wait on playing the second one out because I might want space on the bench for Mew. Yeah, they're a Charizard deck. I want space for Mew. Ooh, not Charizard. Spicy. Is 5 enough or is 6 the sweet spot for basic? I think 5 is the floor. Most of my stage 2 decks like this one only play 5 because stage 2s take up so many deck slots. But if I'm not playing a stage 2, usually I fit in 6. We're gonna wait to research until after I division because I want the coughing out of my deck before I draw cards. That is correct. With genome hacking, if the energy type doesn't match the type on the card, you just discard nothing. Can't discard fire energy you don't have. Looking for a Wheezing or a Mew with that line, and we found the Wheezing. Stage 1 for this would have been nice too, but beggars won't be choosers and all that. Hey, thanks, Billy. Glad you're having fun with them. That was a big blade. Holy. Everything on their bench has a retreat cost of 2 right now. Wonder if it's wrong to do this. It's close. It might have been right to just try and go after the Magmar, but going after the Magmar is so bad if they have another Blade. Charizard definitely feels like the biggest loser of the big 3 from our Mythic Island expansion, with Mew being a generically splashable card that any deck can play to have a better matchup into Charizard. I am planning to play Snap in a little bit. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be exactly at the rollover, just because I started late today because I was feeling a little sick this morning, but we will play some amount of Snap before I sign off today. Oob 2099, good. No idea. We'll look at some untapped stats to start for sure. What third basic in line would you play in a Blaine deck? Farfetch tends to be a good choice. Punish potentially for not evolving the Whirlipede. JK, LOL. Oh my gosh, and they gave me the second stage one too? Thanks, opponent. Got me. So them giving me the stage one here means that I don't lose to Sabrina, which is nice. Red card gamers. A short list of pros and cons for Snap versus Pocket off your head. They don't really have a ton of one-to-one comparisons. Marvel Snap is a lot more, or Pokemon Pocket's a lot more of a traditional card game, whereas Marvel Snap has diverges from the genre in a number of key ways. Blaine got a buff from this set. Yeah, maybe. Blaine wasn't exactly at the top of the format before, so I would think it could be better and still not be very good. This leaf sets me up to be able to KO anything next turn. No, that's not true, because I need to attack to poison it. Maybe this is wrong. Does it matter? Oh, this swap is bad because it means I lose to Giovanni plus the evolution. I messed up. I lose to Giovanni plus the evolution now. I was thinking I was being clever, but it's a Whirlipede, not a Wheezing, and I'm not clever. I am bad. Although, I suppose now I can what's the line here? I have to retreat this so I don't lose to an X speed. Opponent's out of gas. Kind of. We actually lose to X speed plus a second Volcano now. Oh, they're through their X speeds. They need a leaf plus their second thing here. They need leaf this turn. They have their whole deck in their hands. They need leaf. It's 3 energy. Yeah, but I can't kill this in one turn, is the problem, chat. I want you to take a second and imagine their red card this game was a leaf. So instead of helping me, they would have had another good utility card in their deck in order to shuffle their Pokemon around and win the game. Red card was statistically and mathematically trash before this most recent set. And with the addition of additional utility cards in the form of blue and leaf to the game, there's even less reason to play red card than ever because there's so many other good cards you could be playing in that slot instead. There's so many limited slots in your deck. All right, I'm gonna run some ads. And I think we're going to put together Alakazam Mew to play some games with that as something new for today. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere, gamers. Night Stars, thank you for the 34 months. Welcome back. I was going to play this with Kangaskhan, but I think I actually want to try some Psychic. Some of the Psychic discard. I'm gonna play Sigilif and then 2 of the new trader. Hey, Tubu, 6 to the 25 months. Welcome back. Would I rather have an extra sigil over the second Sabrina? I think so. I think so. So... start there. 2 of these get a feel for him. What will you change Mew with on this deck? I wouldn't. I'd play something else. Is chat out a good card? Reddit certainly seems to think so. Color me skeptical, personally. Con, thank you for the 19 months. Welcome back. I'm out. Deuces. Will Delmise be decent in Superior Celebi? Maybe. It's one of the optimization things people need to figure out. Do I Kadabra clear the execute and risk Celebi clearing me? Or do I Sigilif and draw a card to work towards the Alakazam? It's close. How would I go with the Sigilif? Might be wrong though. If they have their evolution for this, we might be torched, so. I'm gonna start powering up Mew here probably as well, yeah. Oh. Well, this is potentially good for us. Alright, 2 Alakazams and a research and 9 cards. Oh, and two Mythic Slabs as redraws too. Okay, so this slab is 2 out of 7. Oh my god, I just bought him to research! Oh my goodness, I just bought him to research! What a disaster! Oh no! One card closer to Alakazam, yup. Yeah, we just can't win from here, right? Because we had to give up too many knockouts. They kill the Kadabra, and then even if I hit Alakazam to clear the Celebi, the Executor clears me on the backswing for their 3rd point. This is just kind of typical Alakazam deck problems, right? We just didn't find Alakazam, and then we died. Celebi a pub stopper. I'd wager Celebi's probably a pretty decent deck when it's optimized. Does it? Doesn't it only do 100? Executor, the new Executor does 80 plus 20 for every energy on the opposing Pokemon. So it does 140 to an Alakazam. Is there such a thing as too many trainers? So you don't want to think about it as you have too many trainers in your deck, so much as you want to think about it as you don't have enough basic Pokemon. So your goal should be to have 5 or 6 basic Pokemon across 3 Pokemon lines, and then how many trainers you play in your deck after that depends on how many slots those Pokemon lines take up for you. Teen is too many trainers, factual. Yes, most decks I build typically have somewhere in the 6 to 8 trainer range. But there are some that get up to 10 or even 11 sometimes. Just depends on some of the details. %0 on Mythic Slab drawing anything. Though I suppose putting the Explorer on the bottom there is actually beneficial in terms of getting us towards Alakazam. Alright, assuredly we find Alakazam now, yes? Gilza, thank you for good Lord! Alright, 50% chance the slab hits Alakazam. I don't know if my body is fully prepared to get red carded here. We're guaranteed to have Alakazam next turn if they don't red card us. It does exist! Alakazam made himself disappear, something like that. Seven basic Pokemon too many? No, I don't think so. I think that can be right in a lot of decks. Alakazam's quite the finisher when he comes together. Slabs plus Sigilifts potentially being enough to get him together consistently is appealing. Done here? Looks like we're done here. I suppose if they have Brock, they could knock this Alakazam out with the Onix, but we'll have Mew set up by then, right? Polycrastinator, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Draw our entire deck before the end of the game, working as intended. I think you can't play or don't want to play colorless Pokemon if you're playing the slab. You want maximum psychic hits. So I'm playing Sigils over the Kangaskhan's to try out Sigil, or try out slab. You tried to make Pokeflute work yet? Yeah, we played Pidgeot with Pokeflute yesterday. Seemed fine. What notes do you take when testing a deck, or is it more feelings? You really aren't gonna have enough sample sizes to, like, make I think trying to make data-driven decisions off of a single person's testing is, generally speaking, a mistake. When one person is not generating a statistically significant sample size. Mew EX's primary function in this deck is to absorb damage. Which someone in chat had just mentioned, do we want a second Budding Explorer to help it facilitate that? And that's very possible. But a second Budding Explorer is worthwhile, so you could just, like, Koga it back consistently. And now this is an interesting thing to think about. I actually don't want a Pokeball here because I bottomed an X speed on the slab. So because I bottomed the X speed, I don't want to shuffle that back into my deck if I'm looking for Alakazam. So long as I don't Pokeball, I'm drawing towards Alakazam 2 out of 7 as opposed to 2 out of 8. I guess it's 2 out of 7 regardless, though, right? Is it a wash? Maybe it's a wash, because I'm fitting a card. Is it a wash? I'm thinking more. That's just a wash, actually, isn't it? What does that mean, bottom the slab? Slab looks at... It doesn't change the odds so long as you hit on Pokeball. Yeah, and I will hit on Pokeball. Okay, yeah. Tempo Sabrina here. Tokyo! Thanks for the 60 months. Welcome back. Return the slab or something like that. The second Explorer could be good over the second X speed as well, potentially. See that being a good choice. We might actually be in trouble here because we're gonna get the knockout. Or are they? Or are they? Never punished. Skill game. Come on, put the third energy on the Celebi so you're more likely to knock out my Sigilif. Silly opponent. I've activated my trap card. Oh no! You knocked out my Pokemon! RIP! I'm just not gonna need another Alakazam this game, yeah? Like, Alakazam is better now. I don't think it's worse than it was before. Felt like I wanted a Giovanni in this matchup. Yeah, I can see that. This is about ready Giovanni for a knockout, yeah? I've seen an interaction between Psychic and Jungle Totem. It works how we want. The Charizard deck get changes from the new set. Maybe a copy of Leaf, but that's it. Erica means outside of an incredibly low roll here, we are dead. They have two turns to low roll, though. They can low roll Alakazam or they can low roll Mew next turn. But do this shuffle with the Budding Explorer, so that way if they have a Sabrina, I still have 130 HP thing they need to knock out. So the Sabrina doesn't insulate them from a low roll. If they have another Erica here, which is likely, we need them to low roll and we'll need to high roll. So we'll need them to go 2 out of 6, and then we'll need to go 2 out of 3. It's going to be very important that you have ways in a lot of your decks to clear Celebi in one. Hey, look, it's the Sabrina I'm playing around. That means no Ericas. That means we just need a 2 out of 3, and then we need a 1 out of 3 for our side. What a tease! What a giant tease of a coin! Are you kidding me? What a tilter. What the absolutely, but like, couldn't it just do it up front? Couldn't it just like start by killing us instead of giving me this incredible amount of hope and then tearing it away at the end? I'm not salty, you're salty. Let's try some stuff. Zeus! Thanks for the 18 months. Welcome back. You know, I probably want a Pokeball before I slab, because I don't want to shuffle whatever I'm putting on the bottom if I brick. Actually, the only card I'd like to shuffle back in. Actually, the only card in the entire deck I would like to shuffle back in there. It's fine. I'm not salty. You're salty, chat. Okay, we've got 2 bad cards on the bottom of my deck. So our Kadabra is 2 out of 9 right now. We're just looking for our stage 1. I'm 2 turns away from Alakazam anyway, so I might as well not give up my shot. Well, they're dead to Kadabra. Vaporeon Enjoyer. Oh no. Oh no! Everybody clench. Esports EV. 1/3. Get reset. Get a teleport. Oh, was I supposed to kill the Squirtle? I was probably supposed to just kill the Squirtle. Mistakes were made. I'm so caught up on being bricked. That's fine. If we draw Kadabra this turn, we still win the game. 2 out of 5. 40% to draw Kadabra. We're at 100% to have Kadabra next turn now, yeah? How does the new Executor compare to Alakazam? It's 4 energy versus 3. And it does 140 damage when they have 3 energy as opposed to 150. Stage 1 versus stage 2. Them hitting on Misty here and powering up Blastoise wins the game. Yep. We are dead. Missing. I threw this game. We would have won this if I would have Sabrina'd up their Squirtle and knocked it out when it was on 20. I was talking and clicking and missed it. Awkward draws from us on both sides, but my draw would have been less awkward if I would have cleared their thing. I think using Superior to enable the new Executor is probably not amazing. The best deck for climbing in Marvel's Step. I do a best decks roundup on the Hooglandius Step side every week. You can check that one out there, Marcelo. I don't think there's a super defined, but much better than everything else thing. Any opinion on blue as a supporter? I think the only place blue has a lot of utility right now is if you're playing 90 HP Pokemon. Because it means blue lets you survive a hit for... means blue lets you survive a hit for 90 against Pikachu and Starmie. Can blue help Poliwrath in the Mewtwo matchup? I think Poliwrath probably sucks and blue doesn't change that. Blue could be a tech card for Mewtwo in the mirror. Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of chip damage in that matchup. You're basically being like, I'm gonna play this card so my thing's exactly at full. Whereas, like, playing it to stop a 90 HP thing while it's at full is more likely because those decks are attacking for 90 to start. Whereas, like, Mewtwo often leads on chip damage with itself, like dealing 50 first, right? 75% of the time we are happy with the outcome of this attack. This is not one of those times. I don't need Mew to live for a turn. Do I want a Tempo Sabrina? I think I do. This matchup doesn't seem very good the few times that we've played it. I feel like we get into a position where we can, like, clear one of their things, but then their Celebi ends up clearing our Alakazam, and then we just have no other attacker left to do anything with. Seems not great for us. I just don't have time to set something else up. Being all in on Alakazam feels not great. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Done in this game and done with this deck. Alright, I gotta figure out what we're doing next. We might go back and play some more Gyarados. Tap and add roll on Twitch though. We'll see you in 120 seconds. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, Alakazam seems not stellar. Or at least this all-in build on Alakazam. Honestly, playing those games makes me think maybe the Kangaskhan build is better. Just because Kangaskhan can actually get you a knockout to start, then Alakazam can finish. It's like pretty reasonable. What do we think, chat? Cooking or baked? Toss it in the oven and find out. Flareon can definitely cook things. Accurate. I think Charizard cooks you. There's a Mew right there, gamer. That's one of the sweet things about building a deck like this and being like, oh, I probably have a bad Charizard matchup. You're like, all right, well, let's just put Mew in the deck. And that deals with that. And Flareon one-shots everything except Executor EX in the Celebi matchup. I don't know that I expect Blade to necessarily be stellar. Blade having to have exactly Ninetales Blade or Ninetales Giovanni. No, it has to be Ninetales plus Blade to clear Celebi in one. Seems not appealing. No, it doesn't deal with Celebi. Celebi having Erica means you need to be able to clear it in one, and Blaine's not built to be able to clear Celebi in one. This is where I would put my basic Pokemon if I had any. No Graveler is good for us. That means we have a shot. Opponent is also going nowhere fast here. Why are you not playing Budding Explorer? So they have one Mew. Oh, they hit the Kabuto. Oh, I forgot. 3 energy attack. Graveler does 70 on rollout. We might actually be in trouble here. If they have the Kabutops. I think 2 knockout points here is huge. Right? Maybe their ass is grass, chat. Geo clears back. What do I need Geo money for? Kabutops is like 140, yeah? Yes, 2 stage 2s feels ambitious from the opponent's deck. The good news is I have all of my utility cards because we were bricked for so long. It's the only thing we could have. Our energy is cooperating here with the grass energy this turn as well. It's fortunate. It's a Leaf to pull this out. We'll still be ready to attack with it. Clean 100 points of damage thanks to weakness here. Leaf plus Flarehead is good. Agree. Sabrina is potentially concerning here, while we don't have the other Executor set up. Potion here means I'm gonna need to hit heads. I was always gonna need to hit heads, right? I suppose. Other fighter's not great. I guess I could Leaf and clear with Flareon, but then I don't have, a grass energy left because of the energy variance. So I think I just do this and hit heads, I think is the play. Then to Brock if Flareon goes up. Yeah, that's true too. Cool. Executor EX here to balance out our resource variance. Oh, should I evolve my Executor on my bench? Yeah, probably. Yeah, they can't Brock and Sabrina us here is accurate, so I think we should be good. Especially with Leaf primed for Flareon to swap in and clean him out. Flareon would have lost. It died to the Brock. Blue's a pretty specific metagame card. You have to have a 90 HP Pokemon you want to play for it to be good generally right now, I think. I will burn this Onix to the ground. That worked out real clean. Real awkward for both sides to start, but once our things came together, both our Pokemon were humming along as intended. I like Scolipede Wheezing a lot. Scolipede Wheezing and Gyarados Vaporeon are the two decks at the top of my list for playing this weekend. Growth Spurt has utility in helping us retreat later, which is nice. Primarily here for energy fixing in our two-color deck, though. Let's just put a fire and execute on one and then charge it and then attack with execute. What's the reasoning to use Scolipede over Muck? Scoliopede's lower tier Pokemon tend to be better and it has more total HP. Yeah, we played one Misty in the what's it called deck this morning and it felt alright. And the Gyarados deck. Yes, Scolipede also attacks for 2 rather than 3, and it retreats for 2 is relevant. I don't have a lot of experience playing the Pikachu deck, so I don't know that I'm a good person to ask in terms of what breakpoints do what in it. Arbok being able to lock my Executor in a room is kind of scary. This is not a matchup where Mew is very good. Sabrina here, I think, rather than potentially knocking this down to 10 and not having my attack banner. You played the new Executor yet? I don't know that I think that card's very good. We'll probably get to it eventually, but it's not high on my priority list. And now if they put the Wheezing back up, I can leaf this Executor out and Flareon it down without giving them a window to Koga. Arbok's unfortunate, means they're gonna get their knockout here. Does this shield body matter? Does Erica buy me a turn? Doesn't matter, don't have it. Second Executor is nice. Potion does not buy me a turn, not playing that out. This build feels pretty clean so far. Executor EX is one of my favorite anti-Pikachu cards, and Flareon being a solid anti-Celebi card, and then Mew for... what's it called? Seems pretty good. I'm not sure how they beat us from here with Flareon one-shotting everything they have. What's the game plan here? I guess I could, like, one-shot this, and then they could Sabrina me into this, and then I could brick on my coins for a little bit, I guess? Yeah, it's like Sabrina into Snake is their line to, like, not be dead here, yeah? With the leaf in hand. There are 2 Ericas and 7 cards here for me. Leaf and GG. That is not how Arbok works, gamer. That is how Executor EX works. Gosh! Am I gonna expand my deck choices to 3 different decks for this weekend, chat? How are we gonna narrow this down? This deck seems like it would be disadvantage versus Gyarados. Sure. The Pokemon I've selected in here line up well into Pikachu, and they line up well into Celebi, and we have a tool for Mewtwo and Charizard. You can't be good against absolutely everything. Sometimes you're just going to have a matchup that's tough for you, or you're going to have variants break your way. If a deck has an advantage into literal everything, you're kind of in a tier 0 format. And then your other matchups tend to not matter. Flareon might be one of the most underrated cards in the game. Feels like your channel is one of the only ones that brews with it. Yeah, I mean, coloring outside the lines and finding competitive things is tough. Is it better to build your own deck or auto it? The auto deck tool is definitely trash. You're looking for some roundups on decks that seem solid after our latest expansion. Check out this video from last night. The Pokemon auto deck is worse than Marvel Snaps even. Yeah, I think that's true, and Marvel Snaps is pretty bad. I think it's this, and then this. Esports Eevee! Thank you, Eevee. Eevee was so good. It's such a big... I think... Does this qualify as a hot take? I'm actually not sure. I think this Eevee is the most erroneous example of power creep in our second set. Agree or disagree? I'm not sure here if I want to get the Mew going or if I'm supposed to keep hedging this towards Flareon. Probably doesn't matter. You don't like that it does nothing half of the time. Those attacks often do nothing, though. Like, you're not playing this card to attack, and having the ability to hit high rolls is fine. Cards that have small percentage chances to just utterly high roll and crush you tend to be very good. Does Leaf count as power creep? Nope. Leaf's actually a really good design. Leaf is a card where you actually have a conscious choice to make when playing it, i.e., do I want to do this or do I want to do X speed? And there's still reasons to play X speed and there's reasons to play Leaf instead. Feeling pretty set up here. Alright, we need them to not hit 2 heads in a row with Genome hacking. Do I just Leaf and clear them out now? I think I just Leaf and clear them out, yeah. Because then they're dead to Sabrina next turn. I don't think I want to play this Eevee because I think I want the flexibility to have another Executor. If they don't hit They need to have another basic that survives a hit from 110 to not be dead to the Sabrina next turn, which is incredibly unlikely. They need second Mew EX, exactly. Another basic that survives a flamethrower to not be cleared by this. Pretty good. Yes, that would also just buy the mature, and I don't know that lets them win the game long term. Are there streamers that actually constantly pause playing the game and show the deck on screen every time someone demands they see the deck? I haven't seen any that do it, but I don't know that that means they don't exist. I feel like I wouldn't watch that stream. Where can you watch Pokemon Pocket tournaments? Some of them do broadcasts on Twitch. It's a lot of basics. Yes, I have seen people that take the effort to put a deck list picture manually up on screen every time they change decks. I technically lose to Giovanni and a Misty Heads here, but I think if they have those, we'll just take our lumps and move on. So, I could put the deck list on the screen. It just takes an incredible amount of downtime every time I change decks to manually put something like that together. There's no tools for this game like there are in Marvel Snap where I could automatically put the deck list on your screen. They can't Geo and Misty. So it wasn't Geo and Misty glad. It was Geo or Misty beat us. It was an or statement. It was not an and statement. This puts me to 40, which means Erica saves me from another Blizzard sans Giovanni, and they didn't have Giovanni 2 turns ago, so it stands to reason they likely won't have it next turn, which is nice. Bricking on Grass Energy there is sad with the Execute draw, but Mew is geared up and ready to go here, which is nice. So even if they have the Giovanni, Mew's gonna clear the Articuno on the backswing, which is ideal. Heck yes, thanks for the 19 months, welcome back. Must be exhausting as a streamer to have chat constantly try and gotcha. I mean, that's part of why I just type people out if I feel like they're doing that maliciously. Oh, we lose to Greninja here too. We don't lose, but the Executor gets knocked out, I should say. Hey, glad you're having fun with the Koga deck. I've been enjoying it as well. Alright, gamers, this is very fitting. I think it's time for Executor to make like a tree and leaf here. Get it out of the way before Articuno clears it out. tap him with the genome hacking. We can fade Greninja for a turn. Erica can save this Executor on our bench. The Mew Mirror is a joke. It is very wet noodly. Oh god. Alright, well our Executor is statistically very dead at this point. Gosh, this is so awkward. I think it's this. Oh, that's super rewarding to hit our potion. That means I got to start powering up the Flareon, and I also don't lose this to, I also don't lose this to the 40% Greninja top deck now. Yeah, that was the actual perfects. Our one potion plus one of our two EVs. Ooh, if they hit heads here on this, Greninja... No, they shouldn't have Greninja though, right? Because they would have played the Misty last turn. No, they researched last turn. Articuno plus Greninja is the god roll back here. The Misty hit plus the Greninja is the perfect line back. Wait, what? Honey. Do I just put Executor up to the active slot now and attack with it? Do I Sabrina them first? I think I want to Sabrina them first. Do I? Do I Sabrina? It's close. I think I'm putting the Executor up. I'm just not sure if I'm Sabrina-ing. I'm just not really going to have another window to use this card, I don't think. So I might as well tempo and energy off them for a turn. Oh, and they did that, so now they're dead to, now they're dead to a heads. It was, best possible case. They definitely should have put the Greninja out. Cool. Alright, well, that game had a lot of clutch back and forth there, with a couple of questionable decisions at the end for our opponent. Well, this was, I put together a few decks. We're gonna have to try out some more of them as time permits. This was a theory craft I put together last night while I was stewing on some stuff, and it feels like it kind of worked out in practice just like I wanted it to on paper. Flareon's such an underrated Pokemon pocket card, and decks like this getting to play Mew as a way to have counterplay into Charizard and Mewtwo EX, which would otherwise be troublesome matchups for Executor and Flareon, seems solid. Executor EX is just easily one of the best cards in the game against Pikachu. Is it wise to craft Flareon? I mean, I think if you're done opening whatever packs Flareon is in, it's a fine pickup. I've been brewing with it a lot, and I think in a Celebi world, it's a card you'll probably get plenty of play on if you like working on off-meta decks. Yeah, Flareon. Flareon clearing your Celebi matchup, Executor clearing your Pikachu matchup. And Flareon with Giovanni is honestly not bad against Pikachu either, because it clears EX Pikachu in one with the Giovanni. And Flareon also tends to be pretty good into the Wheezing decks, because clearing Wheezing and Arbok in a single go also has a lot of value. All right, we're going to wrap on Pocket now. We'll kick it over to the Jeff Hoagland